I'm Randy Hugh with SmartBoardsReviews.com, and today we're going to talk about the Promethean Activboard. We're really lucky. We were able to get a Promethean Activboard. This is a 42-inch, and what we've done is we've just put together a real quick makeshift classroom. And we're going to set this up for the first time, kind of walk through it, and we want to invite you to walk through it with us. So what we have here is a 42-inch Promethean Activboard. And generally, to set this up, we have this on a table right now. But in most classrooms, you'd either have a stand or we'd need to install it on the wall. And what we've done to install is we've just taken the electrical cord, plugged that in, and as well there's a USB cord that we plugged into our computer. And then again, from the laptop here, we have our cable going from the laptop to the projector. And you can see in the setup that we have here, we have a normal projector. And with the normal projector going at, or pointing at the actual smartboard, you're going to have these shadows. So you can see as I go in and out, there's a big shadow behind me. And you're going to have this problem with any smartboard that you choose. And that's in contrast to a short throw projector where the projector is up on the ceiling and the projection goes straight down. And those are very nice because it doesn't matter how much I go in front of the screen, right? It doesn't cast that shadow, behind on your projection, which makes it a really clean look. Okay, now that we've done the hardware setup, what we've done is we've installed the software on the laptop, and we're going to need to calibrate. Just like all the different smartboards, you need to calibrate the stylus with the actual smartboard itself. So we click on this little icon down here in the tray. Click on Calibrate. And then we go through a calibration process very similar to like a Palm Pilot.
Overhead lighting and whatever security systems messing with it.
Once we're done with the calibration, and that takes us to the actual studio software. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see there's the toolbar. So let's go and take a look at some of the different functions here. We'll just take a look at some of the real basic ones. So it looks like right here, there's a marker pen. We can select the marker. And then you have a color palette. So we can go ahead and select which color that we want the pen to be. We can also adjust the size of the marker, so it's a little bit thicker. To different sizes that the pen will work. Right next to the pen, you can see there is a marker, and the marker gives you a thicker highlight. So we can highlight this area. And as well, we can change the color of the highlight. There's also an eraser, so we can erase our annotations in certain areas. And this is kind of a cool feature too. There's a little spray bottle, and we can clear all the annotations that we've written up just with one click of a button. One of the things that we've quickly noticed here is the amount of pressure that you need to put on the pen itself. So you do need to push a little bit harder on the surface to get a nice smooth pen mark. And if you press lightly, it doesn't track as well. But when the harder that you push on the pen, it makes a scratchy sound. In fact, I'm going to take off my lapel mic here. If you can hear that scratch, that's something that caught our attention right away, because if we have to listen to this all day long, we might have to have some medication at the end of the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other tools. Here we have a little connector, and this is kind of neat. We can select what type of connection that we'd like to create. So for example, we could do this little zigzag elbow connector, or we could do kind of a half circle. And what's also nice here is you can do undo. And if you want, you can also clear the entire background or just the annotations. So we'll clear that. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't work with the connectors. So I'll say clear annotations. Whoops, clear objects. There we go. There's a lot of tools that we're seeing within the software itself. Some of these tools, we're still trying to learn how to use some of these. Be able to go through the learner response system, there's effects, online settings, there's flip charts, there's multimedia. And from our understanding, working with a Promethean software, is that there's a chock full of functionality. So it's one of the softwares that's a little bit harder to learn, but there's a lot of functionality in it. And as you can see, as we're just trying to step through this, a lot of the functionality is not that user intuitive. But I'm sure the more we start to play with it, the more we learn with it, it's probably pretty effective. We can browse through pages. We have this magic ink that we're still trying to figure out what that does. And this is one of the things, we hit a button and now we're a little bit lost. We're not really sure what we did to do. We see our background here. There's a couple of small little wheel palettes. I've learned that if I click this on the wheel palette, it takes me back to our studio. And then I'm not exactly sure how to get rid of that wheel palette though. So apparently that's for expression devices. And if I click through, here we have our PC functionality where we can open up new flip charts, open up new files. We can print, we can save. There's all the editing tools here. We can view, we can insert pages, media, connectors. There's a chock full of tools, a lot of them that we see on our tool palette, and then we have the help. So one of the things we can do too is go to Promethean Planet. We can click on Promethean Planet. Our browser will open up. Let's expand this to full screen. And another nice thing that we understand about Promethean Planet is all of the curriculum or all the media that's available. There's a lot here. So again, one of the tough things is to be able to look through all the different curriculums and then see which one's going to be appropriate to use for your classroom. But for example, we can go here to animated lessons. We can click on Colin's Big Cat series. We can scroll down, understand what the Big Cat series is about. This particular one is premium content, so that's something that's additional that we're probably going to have to buy. And then we can preview, download and preview some of the different curriculums. Here are some free samples. We can see around the world, for example, and take a little preview of what that is about. So this one here is about appropriate for ages 5 to 6, year 1. And it takes us through a little slideshow of what the learning objectives are and what the curriculum is about. As we're wrapping up with our first look into the Promethean Activboard, another thing that you want to note is on the board itself, you definitely do not want to use marker pens because, as you can see, there's a big mark left there.